Hi, good evening. It's about 8:30. I just finished my class, and I just want to go through the Palo again because a lot of people were asking questions like, why are there so many different variations in the Palo of Fervilleon? Okay, first off, there are 3 iterations of Fervilleon. Okay, it was conceived in 2007, and at that time, Fervilleon is basically almost like it's just a conception at that time, and the movements are still ArDigma at that time. In 2010, Grandmaster Nap went back to the drawing board and redo some other the naming conventions. In ArDigma, the naming conventions are a little bit like the way he says, like it's not easy to identify the movements. Say when you say likud, padulis, so likud is Yaw-Yan back kick. Likud lock, patulak is regular back kick. So anyway, he went back to the drawing board and he says like, why not call straight a sibat, right? So there's 3 categories, right? So we have like a sipa, which is front, sikat, which is all side, and tajak, which are all back. To those who have studied Yaw-Yan before, you would know that we have the same exact thing, right? Front, side, and back. In ArDigma, it's not like that anymore. There's no categories. There's like likud lis, likud lak, and those stuff. He went back and patterned after the old Yaw-Yan. So it's kind of same thing, like but he named. A lot of Filipinos will be asking like, where is sipa, sikat, tajak? They all meant the same thing. Well, in Fervilleon, it's not. Sipa is front, sikat is side, and tajak is anything that's on the back, including the circular back kick. So Palo is also almost patterned the same way as in Yaw-Yan, and the differences in the Palo is because of the iterations. Okay, I'm going to show you what's the difference. And one of the main big difference is the Kobra. Okay, let me talk to you about the Kobra. When Grandmaster Nap was showing the Kobra at that time, it was saksak, right? Saksak, palm up, right? Palm up, saksak. Okay, this is how he showed this. And then saksak, palm down is kamandag. So, Kobra and kamandag. When it's translated into empty hand, it goes like this. Okay, this is the Kobra, right? This is the Kobra. When it's translated to empty hand, it was this. Okay, it was that. I don't know if you notice like the way that hand is bent right there. Okay, it's like this. That's the Kobra. This would make sense because you're holding a knife, a blade, right? But when you translate this into this, what's the weak point? You guys follow me? Where's the weak point? Right there, right? Just push that, okay? You're using the index knuckle, right, to punch. Push that and you will see there's a weak point there, right? It's bent. Grandmaster Nap always teaches everything straight, right? There's no bent, right? The blue forearm, right? The punch, no bend, nothing bent. Why on this? I question this. I actually asked him, why this has a bend? In the morning that we were practicing, I brought this up to him, right? And of course I got hit on the head. In the afternoon, right? That was in the morning. In the afternoon, he whistled, right? And he said, I'm changing the Kobra, right? And then he changed it to 4-knuckle. 4-knuckle means this one, right? That's the 4-knuckle, right? He was to use the 4-knuckle strike. So it's like this. And he showed me, it really looks like a Kobra, right? It really looks like a Kobra. I don't know if you can see it from there, right? Looks like a Kobra, right? This is actually what he wants. He showed us this. She was like this. He says like, you're going to be using this way. Instead of that, he uses this. I point this out to him like there's a weakness there. There's a weak point. There's a bend, right? Nothing bent in Yaw-Yan, nothing. Our punches, okay, if you notice, like our punches, like boxing punch, like the middle knuckle is the one that's hitting, like in our straight punch, right? We're using the middle knuckle to punch, not the two knuckles, like in karate, right? If you punch with the two knuckles, look at where the bend is. Same way, okay? It's bent there. And look at the hand, the palm. So you're hitting with the knuckle, right? So when you hit it like this, the knuckle, what happened? There's a bend, right? There's a stress point there. When I point out this, the knuckle right there, only one knuckle, right? The index knuckle. When I point this out, same way, right? There's a weak point there. So he changed that. In the afternoon, he called us and he says he's changing it to a 4-knuckle punch. Okay? Just like this. In the old iterations, the 2 iterations of Yaw-Yan, right, 2007, 2010, it was always like this, right? There's going to be one person who's going to be demonstrating the sticks or the blades, right? They would do like this, right? And translation is from here. Okay, if you notice, we never punch this from here. Okay, we never did. The Kobra is always coming from here. It's always coming from here, right? So he would strike like this. We don't go here and here, and I'll explain that why. In FMA, right? All FMA is all angles of attacks. Right? When you attack angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, or whatever, right? But it always starts with angle 1, right? Angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, and angle 5, right? In Yaw-Yan, we don't use angles because all those types of punches already covered the angles. So when you say like ArDigma, right? ArDigma palabas, this is gonna be one angle that you can use that, you can use this, and you can use this. So look at the angle, right? There's no such thing in Yaw-Yan to cover the angle because we already covered all the angles, just the types is all we need, okay? When we say hataw, same thing. We don't necessarily like a hataw, and this is also hataw here, right? In Yaw-Yan, we cover both. We don't have like a angle 1, angle 2. There's no such thing, right? Even in the old traditional Yaw-Yan, we only we only have the types, right? Types of bolo punches, what? Say, okay, all this, right? So when we do the hataw, watch this hataw, right? When we do that, in other FMA, they would say, oh, that's angle 1. What about this? That's angle 2. No, we call that as hataw also, right? When you combine these two, right? Hataw paloob, right? And hataw palabas, what? Gonna be X, right? Hataw X. So you got hataw X. When we do the combine of saboy paloob inside, saboy paloob outside, that's saboy X, right? ArDigma, saksak, right? ArDigma paloob, ArDigma palabas, and you have ArDigma X. Okay. Now I want you to see this. When some other instructor was teaching Kobra coming from here, they said because it looks like a Kobra, the Kobra is coiled. Grandmaster Knapp is not going to teach this. We always practice this, like in the morning, 8 o'clock, and then again, 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We always practice this. We always coming from here. It's never coming from here. Look at that. That's already bent there. And you're telegraphing the movement coming from here. Right? Yaw-Yan is very simple. Everything's direct. There's no telegraph. This is a telegraph move. You come from here, you bend that, and then you shoot this out. Okay, I want to point this out to you. Okay, go from here and this here. Go from here and this here. It doesn't make any sense, right? It's always delivered like this. From here, here, right? You have a blade. This is already covered on ArDigma. Why would you still have like this? We already have this, right? We already have that. There's no sense like another Kobra is coming from here. This is already ArDigma, right? This is Kobra. Two-way Kobra and kamandag, right? Two-way to stab. Stab and stab. Palm up and palm down. Very simple. Very simple. Right? Master Knapp's not gonna make it complicated. Go here and then shoot there, right? this is already on the beast. Okay, there's not gonna be two moves gonna be the same thing. All right, watch. When you go like this is bend. And then when you shoot that, it's gonna be straight. It's not, right? It's not. Watch how it's telegraphed. No matter how fast you do that, it's gonna be what? You're gonna telegraph that, right? Right? And watch this. Is there any telegraph? Is there a telegraph like this? You shoot this out from here, right? You shoot this out from here. Right there in the throat. Okay? Right there in the throat. That's Kobra. Okay? I don't know. Somebody was saying that grandmas are not taught coming from here. That it's progressive Fervilleon. It's not. Okay? Ask Tisoy, ask Alvin Manzano. We practice every morning and the afternoon. We always do this. We never practice coming from here. Never at all. Not even one time. Not even one time. So I don't know where it comes from. Okay? If it is coming from there, please change it. It doesn't make any sense. Please bring it back to where it was. It was coming from here straight. Very simple. Okay? Very simple. Four knuckle punch is using the four knuckle like this. And it's also not this. Okay? It's not like that. I don't know if you can see this. It's not this, but it's this, flat on the top. Okay? That's how four knuckle punch is Kobra. That's the Kobra. I'm gonna cover here the rest of the other Palo, right? Just to review. We always do, one person is gonna be the edge, and then the other person is gonna be the hand. Fervilleon is patterned after the patalim, blade weapons, okay? He would always say, okay, where's our Fervilleon pattern from? Patalim, right? Edge weapons, okay? Can be bolo, itak, punyal, balisong, okay? And I'll show you also why. The movements of the Palo, we have loob, labas, okay, bangkod, and talim. Same way when you have a blade. Whenever you're holding a blade, the blade edge is going to be your four knuckle. I mean, your four knuckle is going to be where the blade is. You go here, where's the blade? The four knuckle, right? We hold it here where the blade is. Okay, the spakaw, the blade is here. Okay, when you go like this, it's very difficult to understand because right now, both of these are bladed, right? But anyway, what I'm trying to say is this is the blade, this is where your four knuckle is, right? So you would hold it this way. Four knuckle with a blade, four knuckle with a blade. When we strike, one person is going to show hataw using the blade, right? We do the same thing, hataw using the blade. Everybody follow, right? Hataw, right? And then that's the blade, and then hataw with this blade, right? Okay. We also have, apparently we have like this too, right? Loob. So we do this. The loob, right? Labas is this. Bangkod is this. Okay? So we do the hataw, bangkod, right? Hataw this, right? Hataw that. Okay? Labas, loob, bangkod, or talim is still hataw, right? This is the beauty of Yaw-Yan. Other FMA, I don't know if you try to compare another FMA, right? You say angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5. Okay, we don't do that. We say like a hataw, paloob, right? Hataw, pababa, just hataw, right? So down. We already covered 1, 2, 3 there, right? It's like three different angles there, right? One angle here, one angle here, one angle here, right? So that's the beauty of Yaw-Yan. Totally different. It's not going to be like patterned with other. It's like the way Grandmaster Nat does things. Like he's always unique. Even the naming convention from the old traditional Yaw-Yan, you would notice that we're the only one has unique names like Mountain Storm Kick. Like all these names are totally different from when you take karate, right? They all have patterns. Grandmaster Nap never copied from other arts. He uses the art that he had learned and then improvise and make it better. Okay, it's never, we're never the same as other arts, ever, never did, never ever was, right, and never is. Okay, let me go back to the, we got hot out, right, hot out and hot out also. We do the halibas, the blade, right, and then halibas also. Now this is one thing, right, if you notice, we also have halibas this, labas, so halibas this, right? Right? So this is our main halibas, when the default, right? The blade coming out. So that's halibas. Okay, now I want us to see pitik. When I say pitik, it's the third punch, right? Pitik, it's just like that. The blade edge, you're striking, right? You're striking with the blade edge, just like that. Okay, you're striking with the blade edge. After you strike, it retract back, right? You strike and retract. You strike and retract, right? That's pitik. You using the blade. Okay. Grandmaster Nap also make distinction between witik and pitik. In witik, we use the dull edge, right? That's witik. Witik, that's witik, right? Witik. Pitik, he wants to use the blade. Okay, when we do the pitik, it's like a whipping blade. Like we whip that and come back, right? So now we do the back fist snap. The translation of the pitik is back fist snap. In the back fist snap, he wants the hip. My back at that time, I couldn't even move. It's really very difficult. Now, I could move a little bit, but at that time it's very difficult for me to move. So he always say like move your hips like this, right? So he wants to rotate this and snap. He wants to rotate this and snap. Okay, it's not just like this. He wants to rotate this and snap. Rotate and snap. Rotate and snap. That's how he wants to teach this. He wants us to teach this way. To turn, right? Go like this. Turn and snap. If you have the lead leg, right fighting stance, right? If you have the lead leg, he still wants you to turn your hips. Turn your hips, okay? Turn your hips. That's how he wants to teach this. Okay? Turn your hips. If it's the lead, turn your hips. Turn your hips. So same way like this. Right? Turn your hips and shoot it out. Turn your hips and shoot it out. That's on the pitik. The next one would be hambalos. Hambalos, when you deliver in the knife or in the sticks or swords, right? We were doing like this, right? So we're doing like that. This is how he wants to teach it in Fervilleon. And he's very specific with this. Your finger is going to be pointing out. When you say handa, our hand would be like this. Alvin, if you were watching this, your grandmaster would always correct you like, handa. Like when he always go like this to you. Handa. He always get mad at you. Anyway, this is how he always say handa. When you say handa, like this. So for the fourth punch, when you say hambalos, your hand should be up here like this. The back of your palm is going to be behind your ear, like this. Like that, okay? So when you're teaching this, make sure that you're pointing like that. So when you say ready, right? 1, like that. Okay, point of impact is the bridge, the ridge of your forearm, right? The ridge of your forearm, the blade, right? The blade of your forearm. So like this, okay? Every time you count, this is what he said, every time you would count, you say, ready, like this. Right away, your hands should be like this. And 1, and then come back here. 2, and come back here. And 3. That's how he wants to teach. He wants us to teach the hambalos. To those who attended the seminar from him, you would remember that because he always would tell you like a handa, like this, okay? So same way in pukpok. In pukpok, when you say handa, our hands should be like this right away, okay? And then he would count 1, or pukpok like this, right? Say 1, like this. So these knuckles here